As the Federation attempts to reopen its borders to generate economic activity, caution must be taken and some risks will have to be absorbed. This, according to Medical Chief of Staff at the JNF General Hospital, Dr. Cameron Wilkinson, who appeared as a guest on the most recent edition of Leadership Matters and outlined the planned protocols for the opening of the borders. Dr. Wilkinson said that, like many countries battling the pandemic, there must be protocols in place to contain elements to reduce the risk of exposure of the virus in the country.
We would have at least two categories, a low risk and a moderate to a high risk category when we're looking at persons coming in. We will use the gold standard test for screening persons, which is the PCR antigen test. We have no plans to use the rapid antibody test in our protocol, as at present the sensitivity and specificity of the current antibody tests are questionable. A negative PCR test will be required before entering as part of the protocol. A completion of a pre-arrival health screening form will be required. There will be health screening on arrival, including temperature checks. Serial testing after arrival will be part of their protocol.
He said quarantine sites categories will also be looked at, as a period of quarantine will continue to be part of the protocol. The use of a tracking app and the training of persons also form part of the border reopening protocols.
We're utilizing an app for tracking persons that has geofencing capabilities, the capability of contacting persons and managing them in real time. The app will be mandatory for all arriving travelers, and we'll obtain consent to abide by our protocols before arrival. And persons who are coming will have to abide by our emergency powers regulations. We also need to prepare for reopening with training of persons in tourism industry, including hotels, restaurants, bars, tour operators, taxi drivers. This will be done over the next few weeks in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the assistance of the Pan American Health Organization. We have a map that allows us to control the disease, but yet get on with our lives in the new norm.
Dr. Wilkinson said while the reopening of the borders is not a medical decision, it should be guided by medical advice. He said economic and social activity must be taken into consideration when making the decision, and public education is necessary, as it has to be an all-of-society approach.